Okay guys, so today we got the iPV3 150 watt box mod. Okay, so here's the box that this thing came in. It finally got here today after, I don't know, 40 some days. It had some cellophane around it. I already took that off. Try to make things a little quicker here. So this is the box that came in. Let's pull the top off. This is what we have inside. Here's the actual unit itself. I got the black one. I think first black one I've seen in videos so far to this point. Let's see what else we have in here. Warranty card. There's the iPV3 booklet. It's like a little instruction manual of sorts. Looks like this is empty. Okay, so we got a little screwdriver, a couple of extra screws, and a USB cable. I imagine this is going to be for updating the unit when the updates become available. Back to the iPV3. Let's have a close look at it here. I'm hoping that that right there is not a scratch or something. Can you see that? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's plastic. There might be some yeah, I think there's a little plastic cover over top of the screen. And it's my understanding from other people that this fire button up here doesn't work. It's disconnected. But I won't know until I actually turn this unit on. But I would imagine so. I believe this right here is the 9-volt charging port. Then the micro USB down here is going to be for updating software or firmware. Then you got your up-down buttons, fire button, and then obviously for your attys and tanks. So let's go ahead and pop this open, get some batteries in it, and fire it up. Okay, so it appears that the screws that came with this, I don't know if you can see that there. There's some kind of what I call like a hex head or something. Okay, so here's the back coming off. There's the battery ribbons. I'm not quite sure, but that looks melted to me for some reason. You guys see that? I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know if that's just the way it's supposed to look, but I don't know. It doesn't look right to me. That's absolutely not right. I mean, look at it. This thing looks like it was just tossed together, man. I mean, because if you look, right here is the positive. As you can see, there's melted plastic all around it. This is the negative. So it would seem to me what they probably did was changed out this battery tray, and in the process, this stuff here got melted, or maybe that's how they're holding it in. I don't know, but that's already ugly right from the get-go. I don't like that at all. These are the positives, and these are the negatives. We're going to be using these batteries here, the MXJO IMR 18650. They're 35 amp batteries, high drain. So there's one, and then on this side here, our positive is the opposite direction. Okay. So it looked like there were some presets in there. I don't know if you've seen that. So let's hold this down. And I'm going to go ahead and put we'll go ahead and put the back on first. Yeah, they really should have did this with magnets. That's another downside. Of course, I mean, I knew this, obviously, when I bought this. We'll go ahead and put these Phillips head screws in. I don't like those other ones. Okay, so I'm going to pop an Addy on this. I'm going to go with the Mephisto. As you can see, it screws down really nice. So that's a plus so far. Make sure my air holes are lined up. Looks good. Let's give it a vape. This is at 50 watts, and this coil that I have on this, guys, is a 0.77, I think, if I remember correctly. Let's see if it even fires. Oh yeah. So I forgot to turn my microphone on like a dummy, and what I'm doing here is I'm showing you that I'm vaping this at 150 watts and 8.5 volts, and I had to turn the lighting down so you could actually see it because there was too much glare. So I'm just blowing some clouds with it, and it's extremely hot. So what's my verdict on this thing? Well, number one, I won't ever be using this device at no 150 watts. That's a fact. It's just way too hot, man. This is definitely putting out way more power than any mech mod I've ever used, and I've got 2 or 3 copper mech mods. It's just too hot. I mean, some of you out there may like that, but, you know, I'm not one of those people. I do like the menu. I mean, this is obviously much like the Kanama DNA30, as you can see here. I mean, they look almost identical. In fact, they are. It looks pretty much like the same buttons. So they're nice and clicky, if that's what you want to say. And it looks like these go down in 0.1 increments. I'm going to take this back down to 40 watts. I'm going to pop the Mephisto back on here, because that 40 watts with a single coil was really good. It was hitting really hard, and the flavor was really great. Make sure I'm lined up. I am. So I'm going to give this a vape again real quick. Yeah, now see, that's all right there. That's at 40 watts. And it's 4.4 volts. So definitely 40 watts is working great for this particular coil. So 60 watts is 5.4 volts. And 60 watts tastes burnt. Yeah, it's still too hot. And what I'm saying when I say too hot is it's burnt. The flavor is gone, and it just tastes like burnt cotton. Yeah, this already needs to be changed out because this has already scorched my cotton, but I'm going to go ahead and push through here. I just dropped it down to 50 watts. Now 50 watts, you can see it there, 50 watts is perfectly fine with this particular coil. So just keep in mind that I have a 0.7 ohm coil in this, and 50 watts, it seems that 50 watts is about the general area. 40 was better, but 50 is not bad. Let me vape it again. And I mean, you seriously only need to hold the button for like a second, yeah, maybe 2 seconds, and you got an entire mouthful of vapor. I'm gonna do it again. And already it seems like the juice has already been burned up in it. So we're at 6 volts, 50 watts. Sorry I couldn't lay it kind of like flat out. I'm leaking my juice all over the place. I'm gonna hit it one more time at 50. The vapor production is killer. The flavor is good, but it's still just a little too hot. So I'm going to bump it down to 45 watts and see what that's like. I don't think you can see that there, but it's at 45 watts and 4.7 volts. Beautiful. So far, 45 watts and a 0.7 ohm coil seems to be doing okay in here. So that's not too bad. Definitely anything above 50 is just ridiculous as far as this particular setup, and it's way too hot. And even with the dual coil that I have on the Tobe, 100 watts was way too much. Okay guys, so there you have it. There's the unboxing essentially, and a little bit of a demonstration on the black iPV3 150 watt. I mean, as you just heard me say, or maybe even complain about a little bit, those wattages are just extreme. I mean, these types of devices, I really don't see these. I mean, they probably will go higher, but like the God 180 that goes to 180 watts, I just don't see the point. I really don't. I mean, I understand that, you know, it's kind of similar to having a souped up motor. You got the power, you don't necessarily have to use it, but it's there if you do need it. In that respect, I think it's really cool. The build of this device is very nice, I will say that. It's definitely really nice. It feels good in the hand. It is a bit big. I have really large hands, and as you can see, I can barely get my fingers together around it. So it is a really big box. I mean, it's obviously housing two 18650 batteries. In comparison, let's put the Economod DNA30 side by side. So even for those of you out there that have the MVP2, we'll take a look at these all together. And let's get the same depth on them. There we go. So that's what you got from the side. So the height, it's taller than the others. It's about as wide, so that's not too bad. And obviously this way it's definitely going to be a little bigger, but that's because it's obviously housing two 18650 batteries. What are my thoughts on it? Well, I think that the product was pushed onto the market really quick. I mean, they did a good job, don't get me wrong. I mean, the box is obviously, it looks good. It's made very well. I definitely like this little, how you can see the chrome on the edges right there. That's really cool looking. And it's, I mean, it feels solid. It feels like a solid device. You've seen the battery compartment, okay? We're looking at the back of it right now. So something was going on in there, and they switched out that little battery holder, man. It's obvious to me that they switched it out because the plastic is actually melted. So that's not good. So that's one of the issues with rushing this product to the market. Then up here, of course, this is completely disconnected altogether. I mean, it's not even hooked up in there. I've seen other people that's actually taken these apart, and this sensor button up here isn't even, it's not even connected. What's the point? Why even have it there? If you're not going to connect it, just take the thing out, man. You know what I mean? And just make that aluminum and be done with it. So that's a definite con. The overall looks of the device I like. It didn't come with a charger, so I have to buy that extra, so that's probably going to be a trip to Radio Shack. The USB port on the bottom, you got your vent holes down here for battery venting, so that's a plus. And like I say, the buttons are really nice. They're nice and clicky. The screen, I think this has the SX330 chip, version 3, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. So that's really pretty much about it, guys. I think that's going to do it. This is the first look here at my new iPV3, the black version, 150 watt box mod. Do I think it was worth the $118 that I paid for it? Absolutely. I mean, it's a really cool mod, man. As far as power goes, I'm not going to have to worry about that, that's for sure. But I mean, obviously this is going to need some further testing, and I'm going to have to use it for a little while and see how it turns out. I mean, it may break, who knows? I mean, they slapped these together so quick trying to, because I mean, they made a mint on these things, people. I mean, they made up money hand over fist. So, and it shows. They slapped them together on the inside and all that kind of stuff. But I still think it was worth it. It was 118 bucks, and it's definitely got more power than I'm ever going to need in a mod. I thought this little Economod DNA30 was awesome. This thing right here has got crazy power, man. Quite frankly, I don't even really see the point of it. But I do like the mod. I think it's a cool box mod. So I'm going to hit it one more time. That's the look at the black IPV3 150 watt. We'll hit it one more time, and then that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care, and happy vaping. There we go. All right, guys. Take care.